all-pervading Shivashakti. Invocation. I begin by paying my respects to my teacher, blissful Nivruttinath, who is my refuge. This knowledge of the power of Shiva is the greatest and the most blissful of all knowledge. It is overflowing with compassion and grace. I glorify it and worship it. Advaita, non-dual, means in spite of being one integrated whole, creating an impression of separateness or duality. Shivashakti, in spite of being only one, creates an illusion of being two. That is why it is difficult to tell which part is Shiva and which part is Shakti. Shiva Shakti is the root of the world. They show us the fundamental principle of the soul, which is one. For the sake of understanding their principle, I worship them. Shiva is the beginning, existence, and destruction of the world. Where these three end, there is completeness. I worship this all-encompassing, complete Shiva. This chapter is on all-pervading nature of Shiva Shakti. Its oneness is described. Dnyaneshwar says, Shiva Shakti are the parents of this world. They do not have any name. They are the root of the world. I worship them. They are both father and mother. They keep changing their forms as it pleases them. In the passion of their love for each other, they intermingle with each other. Then no duality remains. But thereafter, in order to express their love for each other, they separate. They both exist and do not exist as separate beings. But without being two, they cannot express their love for each other. So they, in spite of being one, create an illusion of being two. How can we understand their true nature? They so love to engage in their own bliss that they, in spite of being two, are one. They do not depart from their oneness, even in jest. They are so afraid of parting from each other that in spite of creating this massive child, the universe, they do not even step away from each other. Both lovingly gaze at the entire world they have jointly created, but do not let a third come into being and touch their bliss. Both have the same rights. Both shine with the same radiance. From eternity, both have been living happily with each other. Difference tried on its own to seek duality, but he too, ashamed, gave up and lost himself in the sweetness of oneness. Because of Shiva, Shakti becomes complete. And without Shakti, there is no Shiva. How can one describe their oneness? Both are dear as life to one another. What kind of a union is this? They are so vast that this world cannot contain them. Yet they dwell happily in the smallest atom. Without each other, they do not even make a single blade of grass. In this universe-spanning family, only two live, Shiva and Shakti. When Shiva sleeps, his beloved Shakti does the work of both of them. She is awake, even in the midst of her sleep. This entire world is Shakti's creation, which Shiva sees as a dream while he sleeps. If Shiva awakens, the dream is destroyed and the world ends. If Shakti stops creating the world, Shiva awakens and the world ends. Shiva and Shakti both unite their duality into oneness. Only for the sake of playing with each other, they become separate into two halves and exhibit duality. Therefore, their male-female distinction is in the name only. Both together are Shiva alone. In the whole universe, there is only Shivaness. In spite of it, Shiva Shakti are in everything, half and half. Two sticks, one sound. Two flowers, one fragrance. Two lamps, but one light. Two lips, but one story. So two Shiva and Shakti, but one universe. In spite of being two, they produce just one universe. In this manner, in spite of being two, since time eternal, they have been enjoying the same one bliss. Shakti, being devoted to her husband, cannot do anything without her Lord. And Shiva, in spite of being all-powerful, cannot do anything without his Shakti. Who is Shiva and who is Shakti? It's very difficult to distinguish. We cannot grasp their nature. Sugar and its sweetness, camphor and its fragrance. Anyone who tries to distinguish them is confused and lost. If you try to catch all the light coming from a lamp, you will grasp the lamp in your hand. So when you try to obtain Shakti, you obtain Shiva. Sun's beauty is its radiance. Source of the radiance is the sun. Likewise, without any distinctions, Shiva Shakti are splendid in their beauty. From its reflection, you can recognize a thing. So from their duality, you can understand their oneness. Shiva, Purusha, shapeless, without any qualities, is the husband of Shakti. She derives all her power from the power of her husband. Because of Shiva, Shakti obtains its existence. She, due to whom Shiva submerges his Shivaness and manifests in life-giving Shakti. In the creation of the world, Shakti is the richness and power of Shiva. She carries the entire responsibility of creation. Shy that her husband is without form, she decorates herself gloriously, taking on all the names and forms in the universe. Where there is paucity of oneness, she shows the fecundity of her myriad play of forms. Through her work, she demonstrates the greatness of her husband to the world. And the husband, while remaining in the background, makes his wife famous and revered in the eyes of the world. The husband is the seer. When he does not see his wife, he becomes dejected. The myriad creations of Shakti are a feast for the awareness of Shiva. Shiva relishes this feast produced by Shakti and is satiated by them. While Shiva is asleep, Shakti creates everything in the world. This child, the universe, is produced by Shakti without active participation of Shiva. So this child does not recognize his own father. Shiva is invisible to this child. Roles of both Shiva and Shakti are carried out by Shakti herself. Without Shakti, Shiva cannot experience bliss. Shakti is the body of Shiva, and Shiva is the principle of Shakti. Both delight in each other. Just like wind and its speed, gold and its luster are one, so also with Shakti there is Shiva as they pervade the world. With musk, there is its fragrance. With fire, there is its heat. So with Shakti, there is only Shiva. When approaching the sun, day and night disappear. Just like that, the duality between Shiva and Shakti disappears when you approach them. Shiva Shakti are beyond the primordial sound Om, from which the creation of the world took place. This world, generated by words, having eaten a feast of duality, can be seen as being one with Shiva Shakti. Dnyaneshwar bows to this world creating the couple of Shiva Shakti. All language is frozen when attempting to describe Shiva Shakti. Just like at the time of deluge, there is water everywhere, and there is no distinction between the river and the sea. During a storm, wind becomes one with speed, merges with the sky, and in the bright radiance, sun cannot be seen. Just like that, while observing Shiva Shakti, the seer and his sight merges with them. It is this all-pervading Shiva Shakti, spanning inside and outside, in the home and in the world, that I worship. They are a flow such that without climbing into it, you cannot drink its water. If I were to try to bow to this inseparable Shiva Shakti while being separate from them, I would only be claiming duality. Just as gold ornaments do not become ornaments by being apart from gold, I do not worship them by being separate from them. When the tongue speaks the word tongue, what is the difference between the tongue and the word tongue? When the river merges with the ocean, there is no male-female difference between them. Both their water is merged. Is there duality in water? Even when the sun considers itself as the source of light, and light itself, is its oneness lost? When starlight falls on the moon, is the moon's own light reduced? Does it need a second light to look for its own light? The luster of pearl does not hide it, but accentuates its beauty. Just because Om has three constituent sounds, O, is its oneness lost? Without impairing its oneness, if beauty can be achieved, why should water not delight in the fragrance of flowers floating on its waves? That is why, not regarding Shiva Shakti as separate from me, I worship them After moving aside the mirror, the reflection is absorbed into the original thing. When the wind stops, waves merge into the ocean, becoming one with it. When you wake up, you are aware of your own self. Similarly, waking up from the dreams of my intellect, I worship Shivashakti. Only after giving up the desire for saltiness can salt merge into the ocean. So, giving up my ego, I have merged into Shivashakti. When you remove layer after layer of the bark of a banana tree, the air in it merges into the sky. So have I worshipped and merged into Shivashakti.